Um, COVID has been one of the most unexpected events that humanity has ever experienced. In today's topic, I'll be talking about how COVID has severely affected the economic industry in Indonesia. According to several sources, the greatest industry affected is the retailers and agricultural industries. This is because even before the COVID-19 crisis began, retail businesses were facing several financial issues that can make it difficult to weather a recession because of a pandemic. Now, many retailers have faced challenges already. These challenges include increasing debt burdens, moderating revenue growth, and slowing asset turnover. But across retail, we are seeing significant weaknesses in the foundation, which are including the technology and process of the architecture of retailers. Often vulnerable to sudden shocks, are now completely exposed. Even many retailers that had been making incremental moves towards transformation have not been able to cope with the halt in store traffic, demand on digital, and shocks to the supply chain. Now, no matter the retailer, one cannot overstate the damage done when stores are closed for months at a time. It affects the agricultural industries uh, because that the agriculture industry usually sells to have a massively decreased demand in combination with restrictions in labor, processing capacity, or storage has let farmers discarding their output. Now, quarantine measures are severely affecting labor availability for key time critical farming, from sowing vegetable crops to picking fruit. As the time develops, um, these impacts are likely to become more widely and deeply felt in agricultural sectors and national economies. Next, I'll be talking about how unemployment has been greatly affected in this country. With unemployment, citizens won't have a source of income, and without a source of income, they will not be able to purchase necessities like food and beverages. Now, through this, people will have difficulties and will not have food security as they don't have enough money to purchase food. Now, this can result in lower standards of living because some people may not even be able to afford basic necessities. Aside from food, they could also find it harder to afford basic healthcare and education. Also, in addition to this, lower GDP might discourage foreign investors from investing in Indonesian firms because they see that it's not very profitable, further hindering development in certain sectors, especially small businesses. Through this, we can prove that the pandemic has affected Indonesia through living standards, investments, uh, and also whatnot. Businesses would find it difficult to survive during pandemic as well due to the fact that not many people are going out. Um, Through this, there will be less consumer spending, and that will effectively lower the GDP of the country. And because of this, it will also affect the economy through the GDP, as not only will the GDP be affected, but the GDP per capita will be affected as well. Lastly, I'll be talking about whether or not Indonesia is either in a recessionary or inflationary state. According to an article by the BBC, Indonesia has fallen into its first recession in 22 years as the coronavirus pandemic continues to take it to toll. Um, as quoted from the article, Southeast Asia's biggest economy saw growth fall 3.49% in the third quarter of the year. Compared to the same period in 2019, this shows that Indonesia is in fact in a recessionary state as the country has strict policies when it comes to going out and social distancing. So we can conclude that Indonesia is in a recessionary state. Another reason for the recession is that when the people are unemployed, they don't have enough money, so they are less inclined to spend more, resulting in lower economic activity, which also lowers the GDP, hence causing a recession. The recession is worsened by quarantine and social distancing measures because people are less inclined to go out to purchase goods or services. This would then cause a cycle because lower economic activity firms would make less profit and would hence be more inclined to um, cut down on costs of production, such as labor, which means that more people will either get unemployed or get lower pay. This cycle, this cycle will continue until somehow the economy starts to recover slowly. In conclusion, COVID severely affects the economy as people will find it difficult to maintain a good, strong source of income, and the GDP will be lowered, resulting in a recession for the economy.